Well, I think, again, coming off a good weekend for us, good win on the road, our first road test, and I thought our guys really responded well. I mentioned it post-game, it was a tough week last week practicing, and the most heat we've had all fall camp, and, but I thought our guys did good. Came out in the first half, played great. You go back and watch the film. Guys did a really good job with it. Didn't do good in the third quarter. Come out first drive with a turnover, obviously that's unacceptable. And then finished it off good, I think, with a nice win. So we're excited getting to go to ACC play now, going on the road down to Tallahassee against Florida State. I know a lot of things have been said in the media and this and that about them. They're still Florida State. They still have a lot of great players, and you turn on the film and you can see it, and you can see how great size, good length, really good speed. For whatever reason, they've not closed it out in the second half of games, but they obviously have a lot of potential to be really, really good. So, we got to have another great week of practice this week, and be ready to go play a tough road game.
Coach, do you know at all if you want to practice at all this week, or how that might affect you?
Well, I think he's a lot better today. I think we're going to take it day by day. We'll see. I would assume that he won't practice tomorrow, but he may come in and be ready to go. I don't know. I mean, he's getting close. I would think he'd be able to practice this week. But I think as we sit here today, we'll probably have the same type plan as we did for the game from last week. Malik will get and Evan both will get all the reps Tuesday, and then we'll kind of see where we go from there.
As much as you want to get the ball in the hands of your playmakers, is there a calculation that you have to make with a guy like Tutu who's listed at 153 pounds as far as durability?
Well, I mean, that's part of it, but I think, one of the things we want to do offensively is establish the run. We want to do that. We want to get that going. And sometimes, you're running up in there, you're not getting a whole lot of yards, but you are, making a statement of, hey, we're going to run the football, and then you're going to see how the defense is playing. But we want to get the ball out there to Tutu, there's no question. We like him in space. I think that's where he obviously thrives the best. You don't want to get him in situations where he's matched up with some bigger guys where he can get hemmed up. We want to get him outside against safeties and corners, and he's been very good at that. And he's obviously a big play threat for us. But we got some other guys we need to get the ball to as well. And there's a fine line there. We don't want to put ourselves in bad situations offensively as far as getting off the sticks. And like Saturday, I think we gave up 3 sacks. We want to stay away from that. So the calculation comes in. Do you have time to throw it, and are we going to get this guy one-on-one, free him up? I mean, that's kind of where it comes from. And so as we're looking at the game, that's what we're trying to find.
Yeah, you mentioned things have been said about Florida State, and when you see them, they're still Florida State. You're talking about you still see athletic ability, a lot of highly recruited guys, and where they really struggled is defense. I think they're 120 in the country. Do you see any areas there that where they've struggled the most?
Well, I mean, they've given up a lot of yards, and then second half points. There's as you look at the games like Boise, it was 24-6 in the first half of that game. I looked at Monroe. It was 21-0 Florida State at Monroe in the first half of that game. So I feel like it's a lot of these things have happened in the second half. I mean, I hadn't really broken down the stats to see first half and second half, but I feel like it's in the second half with a lot of these teams just coming back, and for whatever reason. And they do. They have some great size up front. They're an odd front team. So 3 down linemen. All 3 guys up front are over 300 pounds and 6'4" or better. Their outside linebackers are 6'5", 260. I mean, they're just got a lot of size and a lot of length. And I don't know what's happening in the second half to them. I mean, it's hard to tell, but teams seem like they're starting to move the ball in the second half against them, and they've made some plays. And maybe that's due to their offense. Their offense is first half has put up a lot of good numbers and scored points, and they've gone fast. And maybe, I don't know if that's fatigued the defense. I don't know. But it just, as you look at it, just look on paper, it seems like in the second half that's where they've given their yards, where they've gotten wore down or whatever. I'm not sure.
What about them offensively, Scott? what do you see out of them offenses?
Well, they go fast. They're a very fast tempo offense. The quarterbacks, played well. They have one of the best running backs in the country. I think he's outstanding. Runs hard, very strong. But what they're trying to do is spread everybody out. They're getting the wide splits with their wide receivers. A lot of vertical routes, trying to get space vertically. And then when you spread out, that's when they hand the ball off to their running back, and he's able to get a lot of good yardage. So they're, we have to be ready for tempo. There's no question about it. I have to practice that all this week of how fast they're getting their plays in, and try to get them off the field. I know they have a lot of good weapons. Their receiver core is really good too. Fast guys out there, and where, whether they're trying to isolate you in space, where you have a receiver and it's one-on-one with a safety, and now you have to make a great angle tackle there. Otherwise, it'll go to the house. So we got to do a really good job defensively with our angles, staying on top. And then within the box, getting in our gaps in case they do hand the ball off, but because we know how good he is.
Coach, now that you have a little more game film on the week, what are some things that you hope to clean up and work on during practice before Saturday?
Well, one of the things is, when it's not there, throwing it away. We mentioned this in the post game from last game. Guys that can run. I'm sitting there watching Virginia's quarterback too. He's to me similar. Virginia's quarterback can run around, make plays, and I think when you do that, sometimes you feel like you're never out of the play, and then all of a sudden they're able to get you and get that. And now you're losing yardage. So we got to be able to throw the football away, and then we got to do a better job. I think as coaches, we got to do a better job to help them out with some easier throws to where. Where some underneath throws where, you're catching, you're throwing, you're getting rid of the football right now and not have to do a whole lot with it, If we can help them out with that, I think that'll go a long ways, and that'll keep us on the sticks as well. And but I think in the running game, we did a lot of good things for us. We were able to make some plays in the option game, the running game with the Q runs, as well as in our zone read plays. But I think overall he had a solid game. I really did. The turnover we had was probably where he should have turned it up and not pitched the ball. Tutu dropped it. You ask him, he'll say, I should have caught it, but the pitch. But Malik should have turned that up. But I think overall, pretty solid for his first start. Pretty solid.
You've got what your quarterback situation is developing into.
Yeah, I think proud of Evan the way he came in, first college snap, put him in a tough bind. His third down, his first play, and he's got to go in there and ask him to throw a pass. And he was a little bit low. Seth almost made a great catch, but then I think the second play he comes out. We had a shot play called and threw a great ball to Tutu on that one. Looked really comfortable in the fourth quarter playing. I think if Evan, the more he gets to play, the better he'll be. The more experience he gets, he throws a really nice ball, good catchable football. So yeah, I think we're sitting here now. All three guys have played. We feel a lot better than initially when we first started the season. We just got to get everybody healthy now, and I think Malik's healthy. I think Malik, after showing, the second half when he played against EKU and then playing, this game here, he's feeling really good now. Healthy body. We get Puma healthy now. We'll have three guys we feel good about going in and playing.
Coach,
Yeah.
When it comes to Juwan and Malik and evaluating those two, they're two completely different quarterbacks. How do you go about evaluating them if they have two different kind of play styles?
Yeah, really, but we're still running our offense. They're, because they both have a skill set of running the football. They both can throw it. It's a matter of what are we running when they're in, and they've both done very similar actually as you go back and look at them. They both had some issues, throwing the football, accuracy, a couple throws, and in a few reads, but they both ran the ball well. In the running game, I think they both have done well with the reads in the running game as far as the zone read type plays that we run. One's just a little bit quicker and one's a little bit bigger, not as fast but bigger. So they both bring something to the table. I think we're still got to get better throwing. I still think we got to get more comfortable throwing where we feel good about calling some pass plays and. Fitzpatrick got to find ways to get him the ball. He didn't have any touches the other night. So we got to do a little bit better job with that and making it easier for those quarterbacks.
Where do you see your team fitting into the ACC? It looks like the league's not nearly as strong as it has been in past years, at least after you get past Clemson.
Clemson's in a different league of their own.
Yeah. So what about your club?
I think I think it comes down to each and every week, you just stay on that 1 week you have. I think you have to stay focused, and we're dealing with 18 to 22-year-olds. And if we can keep them focused on today, what can I do to get better today? You know, am I gonna show up for treatment when I'm supposed to? Am I gonna do the little things right? I think that's kind of where we are as a football team right now, is trying to do the little things right, showing up on time. You know, and sometimes when you're 18, you think, well, why does this really matter? Well, it matters, you know. That's kind of where we are as a team, and I think when you start doing those things, and then the games become easier for you because you're not making those mistakes in games. You're executing to the fullest, and when you do that, you got an opportunity to win. You know, you just look at Virginia. I saw a stat the other day yesterday coming in that Florida State had 45 4- and 5-star guys. Virginia had 1, and that was a true freshman they just signed this year. You know. But Virginia didn't make as many mistakes, and they ended up winning the football game. It was a close game, but they ended up winning the game. So I just think the little things matter. I think that's the thing that you have to get across. And so this is a very competitive league each and every week. A team, you know, you don't show up, you'll get beat. I think, and that's been proven. And now when you show up and do the things you're supposed to do, you win the football game. So it's all about the preparation leading up to the game, showing up each and every day, and then that game day execution. I really believe. I mean, if you can do that, then you got a great opportunity to win the games. You take them one game at a time, and then you hope at the end of the season what you've done is good enough. And you know, as you look across our conference right now, I think Clemson's played as well as anybody. You know, 18 or 19 straight wins, 14 points, maybe the closest they've been to in those wins. So I mean, they're playing at a different level right now than everybody else.
Last week, Malik Taggart brought in Jim Levitt as a